What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Anti-Gravity Room. It is the news feed for the week. This week we have 8 items on the docket. It's been kind of a slow week, to be honest. There really is not that much going on. But the first thing on the list, Bo, Liam, GTA 5 Heists were released.
I think that's big enough to fill the list of items that aren't there this week.
Not according to our playthrough.
I got pretty fed up with
I'm
it.
talking strictly news, not something to play.
Strictly news, yeah.
The
we did
heist
that
boss.
last week, though.
The heists, we tried the first 2 days straight to get on multiple times. We were never able to actually get connected. It seemed like a big problem everyone was having. Me and Bo both had it. We couldn't get on.
Yeah.
I have a friend also who couldn't get on. Let us know if you guys were able to get on the first 2 days. I don't think anyone really was, unless you got in the first couple hours when it first debuted before they overloaded.
Oh, it did work. It did work initially?
I imagine it had to have worked before, that's how servers get fucked, right? They get
Overloaded? Yeah,
so,
okay. Alright, maybe.
It probably worked for a little bit.
I assumed 10 million people were just fucking waiting.
Well, say they put the patch out at 3 in the morning like they do with PlayStation updates and whatnot. How many people are going to be up at 4 in the morning to play GTA, you know?
Was the time announced, or is it just the day?
I think they randomly update at the same, it was a Tuesday, which is when, the GTA...
Okay,
which is when the PlayStation Network updates all its stuff on Tuesday nights, so I assume that's why they chose that day.
I'm just picturing, everyone who's been waiting for these since launch, just, staying up in the middle of the night waiting for,
I'm sure there is people.
their heist to finally come.
Well, from what we do know, too, is once you actually do get the missions, it's apparently this huge goddamn grind fest that it got to the point that even when I did get onto the GTA, it was just I'd rather just...
No, that's what online is. It is a grind fest.
But they make it to play the heist, you have to be rank 18, you have to do this, you have to go talk to Lester and do a mission, and blah blah blah.
After waiting, how long was it?
Yeah, a year and a half. And I guess they probably figured you probably should have. Yeah, but we didn't want to.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
One of the missions, just dive into it right away, okay, let's go. Thank you for waiting so long.
But that's not even the first bad news. We were able to connect once to get into a heist, and it was a simple bank heist. And basically what it ended up being, I was disappointed, is we got into the car, we drove to the bank, we got there, Buddy put up his gun and held up the teller, and I went around to the back to rob the vault, and I just had a little mini game thing to pick the lock, kind of like Skyrim, and then we picked it, and then the alarm went off, we had to leave, ran out of the bank, there was one cop there, we got in our car and ran the 2-star thing, just like you would anything, and then we went back to Lester, and that was the end of the heist. I was like, this is really fucking disappointing, this was short, it wasn't any different than a regular mission.
Well, you can basically do that robbing a corner store.
Exactly, that's what it felt like a big corner store. It was really disappointing.
What's the point of that? You would just rob a corner store and intentionally get more stars to increase the difficulty, which would just make that the same thing.
I felt really underwhelmed. Now, there's multiple heists available, but for me, that was my first impression of it after waiting 2 days and a year and a half, and it wasn't good. It was not good.
You think they're chinsing out? They're holding back for more? To come?
Well, I think that was the problem they said originally, is they're having trouble finding a job for everyone to do to make the heist.
But it sounds like there isn't really a job.
Exactly. They have these little tacked on little mini games lock picking or
So do they just give up and we're just you know what? Throw in a bunch of bullshit and just give it to them. They've been complaining.
From their standpoint too, it's already free, so they've already sold however many copies of the games, do they really care?
Yeah, but I think that the reward people who bought GTA should get for waiting for these heists that were promised on launch would be a really good heist.
You would think so. Maybe there is good heists. Let us know in the comments below if you've played the better heists. We're going to try and get on, probably tomorrow, do a video, and see how that goes. But so far, it's been basically unplayable, so it's been very disappointing after waiting this long and the hype. Next on the news docket, Titanfall 2 announced. It's going to be multi-platform. Liam, you played Titanfall on your Xbox One?
Yeah,
Are you going to get the second one?
Probably not, no.
No? You didn't like it enough?
It was the appeal to me was like the newness of it. Like the controls were a little bit different. It added a little bit of a new element to the shooter, but I can't see a sequel being worth
Advanced
buying.
Warfare kind of like stole the whole fast-paced.
I didn't even play Advanced Warfare. Like
it's the same thing with the strafing and the wall running and whatnot. Like it made it.
yeah, the problem with adding a new component to a shooter is now every other shooter that comes
It's
out
gonna
after that has to
gonna
have that.
speed. Yeah, exactly.
Otherwise, people are gonna be like, I want to have fucking sprint in the game. I want to have wall running in the game now too, which is like, it's fair, but
another thing
it's
I'd like
boring.
to see, and I'd hope since it's the sequel, it's only going to be for next gen consoles by the time it comes out. I would assume.
oh yeah, I think by
I
the time that game comes out, like people shouldn't be playing.
want to see
360
more than 6 on
PS3.
6. That's like the thing about Titanfall with these mechs. It should be like MAG, you know, like 32 versus 32.
Well, that's why the AI is in there. It's pointless, but it makes it look busier than it is, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I didn't play the game myself, but I had a lot of friends online that did, and
How long did
Just
they play it
seeing-
for?
that's the thing. That's the point I was getting to. They loved it at the beginning, but
Other things
maybe
came out.
after a couple weeks, like they seemed to just lose interest in it.
It was a
They
shallow game in the sense that there was only multiplayer and there was only like 3 of each thing. 3 weapons, 3 mechs, like 3 different things
Yeah.
you could unlock. And so it didn't like drive you to keep playing. There's no perk system really like Call of Duty that would like drive you to grind more.
There wasn't very many maps or guns or like I don't know.
But I think that's the thing. I think Titanfall, the first one, was more like a prototype to like test this type of shooter, like the Quake style, like a fast shooter to see if there's still a
I just
market for
love
that.
their slogan was like believe the hype and like it was
Well,
it was
Microsoft
that's exactly
does
what it
that.
was hype.
Microsoft does that.
The game was lukewarm to me. I won't buy the second one most likely.
I enjoyed it. I'm gonna buy the second one just because I'm not gonna buy next year's Call of Duty. I always skip a year or 2 of Call of Duty and then check back with it.
Oh, I gave up after Modern Warfare 2, and I didn't like Modern Warfare 2, so I just like ended it.
It's one of those games I play because everyone's playing, and I think you just have to. It's one of those games where all your friends are like, "Hey, you want to play Call of Duty?" It's like, well, I guess I have.
Yeah.
It. Like, I'll play it, whatever.
The last time I enjoyed Call of Duty was Modern Warfare.
The
First one.
The Black
First
Ops campaign.
Oh, well, Black Ops, I guess.
The
yeah.
campaign
I did
is
play
good.
a little bit of that.
The Sixth
that's true.
Sense thing. I like that. Spoilers. So that's Titanfall. PS4, Xbox One, PC. Probably not anything for Nintendo, I would assume.
Well, I don't know. Nintendo just got Watch Dogs recently.
Yeah, in case you're interested in playing that.
You shouldn't be.
The next item on the list we're going to talk about is the new Dragon Ball Z movie, Fukkatsu no F, the Frieza comeback movie.
Yeah, I just watched that trailer.
Are you excited for Frieza?
It looks like an actual movie, not just like some side story that's like 40 minutes long. Like apparently they said it's 2 hours, I think.
Exactly. Yeah, it is 2 hours. But
I'm excited to see the Golden Frieza, that's for sure.
Who do you think is the best? Who would you say is probably the fan favorite villain of Dragon Ball Z? I would say it's Frieza.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
He's come back more than anyone.
how long was he in that saga? And I mean, there was a bit of disappointment too when he came back to Planet Earth and Trunks just like kind of fucked him up.
Or the Gohan in the movie when he comes back
Yeah.
from hell and Gohan one punches him
Yeah.
with the Saiyaman outfit.
Yeah, he kind of just became like obsolete at one point, and
And
people are just like, why?
Even in GT they brought him back again and Kid Goku fights him and Cell and he kicks the shit out of them. And in Hell, Pecan fucks him up too.
Yeah.
So Frieza's been fucked he's come back like so many times. And
One
fucked
thing I'm
sideways.
really excited for, and I hope they kind of like added into, is like the music in that freaking trailer was so goddamn awesome. I'd love to hear that in some of the freaking fights.
That's actually an interesting fact that Akira Toriyama actually like got the inspiration to remake this movie from the fan-made Frieza, 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 the punk Japanese song. I'm not actually sure what it's called, but he liked it so much. He's like, I'm gonna do something with Frieza.
Imagine being the fan responsible for that. Like,
Yeah.
you gotta feel good about yourself if you inspired fucking Akira, the creator of like probably the most well-known anime in Western history.
Probably in
at
Western
least,
history,
at least,
for sure in Western history. I'd say.
to come out of hiding and fucking write like a full feature-length movie about like
There's
a
lot-
show
the
that's
last
been
one
dead
was 2
for.
hours too.
True, this is true, but
It's the first movie that's a direct sequel to another
you
movie
you inspired this. Like, whoever you are, I don't know. Thank you.
too. Theories. Do we think we're gonna see God Mode Vegeta?
I think to please fans, probably.
Or you think it's gonna be all Goku? You think Goku's gonna save the day again, or you think Vegeta will find it? Because he's been training with Beerus as well, and with
From that fight that I like in Battle of the Gods with Vegeta, it seems like they're trying to like make him look less lame. Like they kind of just like threw him under the bus, but like people were pissed about that. So
It'd be nice to see Vegeta get a nice. Vegeta needs a movie for himself, really.
see, like that's coming from a
like
fan,
like another interesting fact. Like me and Liam know this. You might not know this, Bo. Like Akira Toriyama, he wanted to kill off.
yeah,
Vegeta.
he wanted him dead after the Frieza saga.
And fans were so outraged that he's like, okay, I'll keep writing Vegeta. But that is why he said he tended to write Vegeta as more of like who would keep losing fights because he didn't like the character.
Yeah, it's true.
And so that's what I'm saying. Is he finally over that? Is he finally gonna give in and be like, okay, here's Vegeta's time to finally do something?
They did the same thing with Buffy the Vampire Slayer on Spike, though, too. And look, at the end of the day, he saves the day.
That's true. That's true.
Right at the end there.
That's true.
Actually,
Waspinator and Beastars is another
Yeah.
one that fans voted back in.
at one point they were trying to write Gohan in as the main character. I don't know if you remember when Gohan became the focal point. He was the strongest.
Yeah, I
and,
think
like,
so.
but
I don't
people
think
didn't like
fans
that. I think
didn't
people
like
were
that,
like,
yeah.
"What the fuck? Goku is the character we've been
I
following."
don't even think it's that. I think it's people don't really like Gohan. To be honest.
I hope not.
Once
I
he
don't
got
like
older,
Gohan.
He had a lot of fans when he was a kid, yeah, but as soon as he became older, I found people like started
Well, they
to
started
steer
screwing
away from
around
him.
with the whole Saiyan Man thing. It was just like...
I love Saiyan Man. I love his Ginyu poses and stuff. I think that's cool because he dresses up like Superman. He has an alter ego. He goes and...
Yeah, I just thought like, what the fuck are you doing? Like you're.
I just thought he's like...
Petty crime and shit?
I just thought he's
They had,
more...
they had to make him different from his father, though. That's
I like
pretty
that though because he's actually involved. Like Goku doesn't give a fuck about who he blows up or what.
No, but he just saves the entire planet, which Gohan never really.
He killed
does.
Cell.
That's true.
He did, but he let Cell do a lot of damage. I mean, Goku had to fucking like come in and teleport him away from danger. Like he would have fucking blown the planet up if Gohan.
But he did.
But
Yeah,
Gohan's-
Goku stepped in and intervened. That's the thing.
Here's the thing. If you were like a superhuman being, right, and you could do all these crazy things, right, would you be fucking worried about like your accounting like class? Or
No,
whatever the hell
never.
it is you're doing? Like that's my problem with Gohan. That's why when he became older, he was lame to me because he's like, he should be playing Jeopardy, not like fighting people. Like I don't know, he got really extra lame. Like the rest of them all strive to get stronger, but Gohan like seems to be the only character that always seems to take a step backwards.
But Mystic Gohan has like the most fucking like potential out of anyone that is like unused.
But that's not even the thing. It's like he did nothing. He's just like you're stronger.
That's what
now.
I mean. Like he just sat on his like strength and he never trained a fucking day in his life after the hyperbolic time chamber in the Cell Saga.
Yeah.
He just like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go throw rocks in the backyard with Goten.
That's true. That's very
Yeah,
true.
Frieza can't wait to see it.
I agree.
Yeah, I was
can't
off
wait
topic,
to
but
see
still.
Frieza.
This is
you
the-
think he's gonna kill Beerus and be the new god of destruction? That's the last thing.
No.
I don't know. I don't know about that.
I think so. I
I don't think I've ever been this hyped for a Dragon Ball Z movie.
I don't either. Everyone's gonna get their chance to fight. Even Roshi's gonna fight in this. This is awesome. I'm pretty excited about it.
I like those long feature-length Dragon Ball Z movies though.
Jackal
Like I don't
the
like those 40-minute videos where nothing really happens. Like
Yeah.
it's
There's no
character
character
development.
There's some
nothing
bad
there.
Dragon Ball Z movies.
There is.
There for sure.
Like TV specials.
Next thing, quick shout out for all you Destiny players. Zur is selling the Red Death currently this weekend at the shop. It's probably the best pulse rifle in the game. I really don't care about pulse rifles, so I'm kind of going to forego it. I have Hawk Moon and Vex Mythicast and Thorn, so I could really care less. But if you guys do want it, it's an excellent PvP weapon. It's got a bayonet thing. It looks pretty badass. So just keep that in mind. You have until Sunday night to grab that. I would go grab it. It's 23 strange coins, regular price of weapons. You probably have 23 strange coins at this point because there hasn't been anything in a while. Last week was Icebreaker, and I assume most of you got that from the time before. If you didn't, congratulations on your new Icebreaker. So that's just a quick Destiny shout out. Next topic on the list was the new DC costumes for their reboot that they debuted those today. We saw the 8 that they featured: Batman, Superman, Green Lantern, Wonder Woman.
They didn't show Batman.
They did show Batman.
They
You
did
just
show
refuse to
Batman.
believe that
You know
it's
what?
actually Batman.
Yeah, that's it. You're in denial.
We'll start off with Batman. he appears to be in a cyborg Iron Man
I was just gonna
style
say that, yeah.
bat suit. I don't know if that's like where they want to go with Batman now, because like I guess that is like what it is, right? Like you use the power of money. It's like Iron Man.
It's ridiculous.
The people.
If that's seriously the costume,
I'm sure it's not going to be like.
I am not interested.
I'm sure it's not going to be a
whatsoever.
forever thing. Like remember when Marvel rebooted and they had the crazy like Iron Man suit on the Hulk too for a while, but that quickly goes away.
You remember the issue? This is part of like the New 52. It happened recently where they go to Darkseid's like planet and Batman is fighting Darkseid and like almost like a not a mech suit, but it's like an armored like.
Yeah, it's probably something. Yeah, like I think
it's
suit.
Just like to
For
keep
an
them on par of like some.
It's for whatever arc they're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
I don't think it's permanent.
I'm
These
sure
costumes, though, I will say, I do not like one of them. Not a single one. Even Wonder Woman is like I'm not a fan of her.
The Wonder Woman is probably the costume I like the most because they kind of took the lingerie look out of it, which is fine. But they gave her these kind of badass like golden spear things on her arm, kind of like Wolverine, but like a single like spike.
I just really do not like any of their costumes.
It looks cool. The rest of them don't look like they changed. Like the Flash's costume looks the exact same, like
but darker.
But darker.
Let's give him a crimson costume.
Superboy's looks the exact same. They just changed
Blue
the black
t-shirt.
shirt to a blue t-shirt.
I don't like Superboy's costume anyway. Like,
Yeah,
he's a kind of a fucking like
he's
lame
he's
character.
kind of a tool. I agree. And
I
then
kind of like the hoodie on the Green Lantern.
It looks like a goddamn Green Arrow.
It's Kyle Rayner. That's why they're doing the hoodie, because he used to wear that weird like. Remember he had like the kind of army coat, like almost like a marching band, like sleeveless coat thing he used to wear. Kyle Rayner.
He looks like Green Arrow to me.
The Green Arrow costume looks the exact fucking same. Like I think because that costume is so unfamiliar to most people, it's like kind of like Hawkeye. He could be really wearing any kind of gear as long as it was colored purple or green. You know what I mean?
Well,
like,
as long as he's got a bow and arrow in his
he's
hand,
green.
it's
You
like,
know what I mean?
it's
Yeah.
fucking the guy. Yeah.
Yeah. So I really don't think that costume change was a big deal. But DC's been having a weird run with costume changes. Like you remember the Batgirl costume change, Bo?
Yeah.
Where she's in like almost like a policewoman's uniform. It's fucking weird. Like,
It is.
I think the costume I like the most with this new 52 was Aquaman's. Like not this one that we're talking about, but
well, we
when they
haven't seen the new Aquaman.
when they rebooted the new 52 like
Yeah.
a few years ago, like Aquaman's was probably in the front runner for like the coolest costume in my opinion. I didn't like Superman's as much as I liked
I like
their costume.
Cyborg a lot too. He looked a lot more badass.
Cyborg's one of those characters that I'm not really like
I'm not really
very
attached
fond
to
of.
him.
Yeah,
but,
he's
I mean,
new, so
they tried to like really push him on the new 52 Justice League as like the new like the Jubilee and like the X-Men. Like there's a new character, like let's debut it in this fucking.
You think
series
he's gonna crash as hard as Jubilee, like just
Oh,
off the
yeah.
face of the earth?
Oh
You
yeah,
think so?
I think by the time 2020 comes for their Cyborg movie, no one's gonna give a fuck about Cyborg.
It is the age of technology, though. So
Yeah.
Iron Man had that.
But I think that's
Cyborg.
the whole thing. I think they'd be like, why would I go see the B Iron Man?
Man, I'm
He's
still looking
black.
at this Batman.
I meant the B movie, but yeah.
Oh,
This Batman picture looks like a freaking Iron Man meets the Tick meets his sidekick Arthur.
yeah. The ears
Like,
are the most
it's-
It
ridiculous
does
part.
look like
of it.
Arthur's ears
Yeah.
from the Tick. That's
Even
funny.
like his backpack thing, like
So-
it's not Batman
Our general consensus is that we really don't like the new costumes.
at all.
I guess at all. With the exception of Wonder Woman. I like Wonder Woman's costume. That's just me though. I don't mind it.
You would say more?
Yes. Yeah. There's that
Oh?
Baywatch thing she has it screams to me like, not like, I don't want to say like, and there's a sexual problem with it or anything like that. It's more like, why are you wearing that? Like you're going to war. Like
Not a fan.
I think she just like Wonder Woman's costume and like Superman's costume. Batman's a little bit different, but I think they're all timeless. Like you can't really hate on them because like they've just been around for that long. Like it's not a bad thing to keep them.
I can hate on a lot of costumes. Like I can hate on the original Robin costume, and that's timeless. He has like the little green underwear.
I wouldn't say
with
that.
no
I
legs.
wouldn't say that that's timeless because like you can't get away with being a guy and running around with like all your legs showing. Like whereas like I don't know.
The thing is too though, like I mean, you're going back to the iconic original costumes, and yeah, they have changed. But I mean, they've changed and altered. It's been an evolution. It's not. These are drastic changes.
Yeah, these
This
are
is completely,
drastic. This is like fucking like not even close to what they were before. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's not.
You can alter the original, but just making a new costume. I don't know if I'm down for that.
Shit.
Okay.
Shit.
So the general consensus is fuck the new costumes. We don't want that.
But I like you, DC. I don't know.
I'm a Marvel guy myself. But where do you lie? Marvel or DC?
The only thing I really watch or follow is Batman and DC. He is my favorite character, so. But at the same time, it comes down to Marvel.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Liam, and your Superman bullshit.
Superman's the man.
Let us know in the comments below if you guys are DC or Marvel guys. Let us know what you thought of the new costumes. Let us know if you hate them as much as we did, because we really did not like them. Next up on the docket, there's a mod that has turned StarCraft 2 into a third-person shooter. It's called Psionic Warefare. It looks pretty cool. It looks really well done for something that a fan has done. It's kind of a third-person, it's kind of like an arena shooter, but there's like waves, kind of like a tower defense arena gameplay to it. But it looks pretty polished for something that like a kid did with a mod. Like it's something that when you see it, you can tell it's a mod. But it's pretty cool. It's up right now in the arcade section of StarCraft. You can find it easily. It's in the top 5 things that are on the list there. It should be easy to find. It actually took us a while to find out about this. I'm going to check it out tonight or tomorrow. I'll probably have a video up about it. But yeah, make sure to check out the arcade and download that, because that's pretty crazy that a person actually bothered to like put that much effort in and basically changing an RTS into a third-person shooter. That's.
I think any time like a game, like even GTA, when they made it like a completely different experience by putting you in a different perspective of the game,
exactly.
is impressive.
Yeah.
The fact that a fan did that,
Yeah.
is like he just deserves for you to play his game because he's a fan. Like he's not even like a developer.
That's true. Fans are also currently working on remaking Warcraft 3 Frozen Throne with the StarCraft 2 engine, as StarCraft, or Blizzard rather, released all of the assets for Frozen Throne and Warcraft 3, so they're like, here's the stuff, we're not going to remake it, but if you want to, feel free.
Someone's going to.
Someone is going to, because that game is beloved, so that'll be interesting to see in the coming months. Maybe it'll even be the same person, who knows?
Maybe.
Like a third person
Maybe.
retelling of the story, would be neat.
They seem pretty talented.
Next on the news docket, the Star Wars standalone movie that we've all been hearing about. We're wondering, is it going to be a Boba Fett movie? Is it going to be a Han Solo movie? What a Yoda movie? There's a lot of theories about it. It actually turns out it's a Rogue Squadron type movie, like a la like Top Gun.
That's cool. That's cool.
I thought that was a really interesting way to go. Bo, what do you think about that?
I'm sorry, but I just gotta think of the whole. I'm afraid of the movie.
You're afraid of the new movie or the Rogue Squadron movie? Because the Rogue Squadron movie can't really fuck up the continuity too bad. It's its own independent story.
Regardless of the continuity, I'm just afraid of this movie.
Which one? Which one? This
Both?
one that he's talking about, or this is a
or
standalone?
episode 8.
Oh, is this not episode 8?
This isn't episode 7. This is like
standalone.
They're doing
Oh,
like
my
that thing where
apologies.
they do an alternating movie every year. So they're gonna do like say episode 7, and then there's like an in between movie, which is like a standalone movie, just for like the namesake. But it's actually like, you know, like when you see like Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, but it's not technically a numbered sequel, like kind of like that.
I didn't even know about this.
Everyone was wondering it was going to be character centric, but yeah, they're going to do it like Top Gun. It's going to be like about like the fighters and shit. I think that's actually a really cool direction to take it in. It's something Star Wars like has never had other than the games, and I think it's like kind of a cool like way to do a movie. Like it's all Top Gun-y.
Yeah, I don't like. I think like people are on like. They're all on the Jedi train. Like I think you should pay attention
There's
to
a
like
lot of
shit
other
that
cool things in Star
The
Wars.
world of Star Wars is fucking huge.
Yeah.
Why not pay homage to like the people who like pilot those like aircrafts? Like we don't see them enough in the movies. We don't know enough about them really.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't want to hear about Jedis for like the rest of my life.
That's true. I also would have liked to see maybe a bounty hunter movie. Where it's like the bad guys get their movie, you know what I mean? Like where they're being badasses going around.
To see how they do things really.
Yeah, kind of like the Devil's Rejects, but not as gory and full of vulgarity. But like Star Wars-y version of that, like with the bad guys like going around killing people and
Yeah.
pillaging and hunting.
I think it should be a little
bounties.
bit more, not like too gritty or bad, but I
No.
think it should be a little more dark because it's showing like that grittier side of the universe. Like
Yeah.
it's like this is like
Yeah,
how
they
the
can
bad
be-
guys do their
They don't
business.
have to be
you know?
bad, but they can be scoundrels. You know, like Han Solo, like shooting Greedo under the table and whatnot. Like,
Yeah, like, I wanna
underhanded,
I want
not
to see some
like,
scheming, like
not really
this
evil.
is morally not. You shouldn't take anything
Yeah.
morally out of this because like
Yeah,
you're
like-
rooting for the bad guys.
Yeah, like
The whole time.
a good example, like just debuted, was like Better Call Saul.
Yeah.
He's not really a good guy. He's not really a bad guy. He's just like kind of a scheming dick.
Yeah,
Like, he
he
gets
makes
out of things.
He makes money by doing
by
something
doing
illegal.
things, yeah, that are they're technically bad, and that's what I like to see. But the Rogue Squadron movie is a good idea. I think it's gonna be pretty cool.
I'm still petrified of the episode 7 though.
I probably would not.
It can't be.
I would not be
prequels.
happy if I heard that they were making a standalone Yoda movie. Like I
Oh
like,
yeah, Han Solo. or
I'd
something.
probably like I don't know. I wouldn't be impressed by that.
This is probably a smart move on their part. It's a good direction to go in, and not even that. It allows for a whole new system of like a series of merchandise.
Yeah, it does. It does. That's
They
true.
can have a lot more ships now for action figures. They can do, and also having a movie every year. You have the merchandise constantly going all year round.
Can you imagine what the dogfights are gonna look like?
Oh, it's gonna be insane.
Can you imagine?
It's gonna be insane.
Oh,
And then you could even have, because of that, you could even have cameos from other characters like Wedge or fucking Han Solo.
Oh, yeah, for
or something
sure.
come in.
but I
do
don't.
some-
I don't want them. I don't want a Han Solo to steal the show. I don't want like a Yoda to steal the show.
No, but like
I just want like
you need that cameo, kind of like Wolverine in Days of Futures Past, like just to have them there for a minute, like
Yeah,
30
like,
seconds, a minute. Just
you gotta let them know like this is part of the Star Wars universe. But I mean,
Yeah, I think it's a good idea. I'm excited to see the Rogue Squadron movie. That's pretty much all the details we have on it right now. It was just announced, but general consensus. I'm excited. Are you excited?
I am. Yes.
Bo?
We'll see.
He still
I need
wants.
to see
He still
some
wants to
trailers.
puke. After General Grievous, he's still recovering.
I was just thinking about that freaking spinning lightsaber actually as we were talking about.
Let's see how many fucking lightsabers we can give him. God damn it.
What was
I
that,
don't know,
6
like,
hours
when I-
ago?
Yeah.
When I think about the original trilogy and the new trilogy, they're not even in the same category. Like
No, they're totally different movies.
episodes 4, 5, and 6. I mean, that's just a part of my childhood. The memories of that movie is
Even
always
episode,
gonna-
I even like. I gets hated on a lot. I didn't even mind
Episode one is-
episode one.
yeah,
I thought
Episode one
it,
isn't bad.
it felt like a Star Wars movie still though.
It did.
I felt
Just-
episode 2 and 3. I don't know what the hell those movies were, but they were not Star Wars.
Yeah, they weren't.
They were something totally different.
They did feel different.
The first one felt like episode 1 felt like a shitty Star Wars movie, but it still felt like Star Wars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
because
Especially
there
being
were-
on Tatooine.
yeah, being on
all that,
Tatooine, the
and-
pod racing was cool,
Yeah.
and like Jabba and whatnot. Like it felt, and there was like an adventure to it. Do you know what I mean? Whereas the second and third one, it was like all about it was fights every 2 seconds,
Yeah.
especially the third one. And it was so, it felt, the whole thing felt so fast paced and rushed. Like Anakin's like, I think I'm gonna be bad. I'm bad in the next scene. Like
I loved what they did with Darth Maul in that movie too. I mean, he kind of like made that appearance. You didn't really know what he was all about. Kind of like Darth Vader in a way.
for a
I
character
mean-
who got killed within 5
Yeah.
minutes of screen time, he was pretty badass.
But I
They
mean,
made
like
him
even the
cool.
final lightsaber between, like it was just fantastic.
Yeah.
It was, and it wasn't very long either.
It was. My only complaint about that movie is that they overused the technology a little bit. Everything looks so new and pristine. It was weird.
Especially once you got to episodes 2 and 3, it got even worse.
You know what my problems were with the second and third one was
How much continuity it ruined?
there wasn't enough adventure, and it was a little too politically focused. Like it was
Yeah, like
focused on
Star Trek.
politics, like which isn't bad because Star Wars.
But that's
needs
why
that.
Star Trek exists, because Star Wars is supposed to be the funner version, the less serious, less realistic version of the space adventure.
Yeah. They didn't do that. Like it was just.
No.
It was so like.
They didn't, and they ruined a lot of continuity. Like the clone troopers really pissed me off.
Yeah.
That's stupid. That's how they got the stormtroopers. First off, you've ruined stormtroopers for me now. You've ruined.
That's a big thing. Like
You've
stormtroopers are sick.
You've ruined the Thrawn trilogy, the greatest Star Wars novels ever made, because they mentioned the clone masters to be like these like weird like clones of other people,
Yeah.
warriors, which is what I imagined it as, like, before I actually saw, like, when I heard the Attack of the Clones.
Yeah.
I was thinking it would be clones of Obi-Wan and shit. I was like, this is cool as fuck. And, like, dark versions of them, that's cool. And then it ended up being ridiculous. And then, like, fucking Jango Fett? Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
And Boba Fett? Anyway, I don't know, man. I like the movies, but episodes 2 and 3 I don't care about. Rogue Squadron I'm excited for. We're all pretty excited for it, except Bo. He's very nervous, but I'm sure he's excited. He's just nervous.
I did like about 2 and 3, like, how they had the technology to make, like, saber battles and stuff, like, actually look
Cooler.
cool. That was the one thing that
But sometimes it looked like they were just, like, literally, like, flipping it around, and if they didn't have the CG there to, like, distract your eyes with, like, lava or other things going on, you would have noticed that they're, like, swinging them through their chests.
But it looked a lot better than, like...
There's nothing wrong with the Darth Vader Luke Skywalker fight at the end. The very first one, Obi-Wan and Vader, is kind of weak, but he's like 90 out of this.
true.
How are you gonna, you know what I mean? You
Or,
can't have him flipping around.
or what is it, Yoda versus Darth Sidious?
That's in the second one?
The second one, that
That's
was...
Count Dooku.
No,
That's
I think
awful.
who is it? Darth Sidious fights Yoda.
Oh, it's in the third movie, when he's throwing the Senate at
He
him.
wanted to do his own, like, he's like an 80-year-old man who wanted to do his own, like, stunts
Yeah.
to make it seem, like, legit, and it looks like an 80-year-old man is fighting no one, which he basically was. Like, he was sitting there, like, batting a lightsaber.
Yeah,
and
just like,
nothing. Yeah, I can barely move.
I agree. But yeah, so that's it for Star Wars Rogue Squadron. The last item on the list, it really shouldn't even be on the list, but I felt it deserved to mention. Marvel has announced that it's bringing back the 1992 X-Men animated series as a comic.
That as a comic is what makes me not really interested in this. Like, if you were saying a TV show...
Well, you read comics. You
Yeah.
love comics.
Yeah, but that's not, like, I don't know.
That's not the same thing. It's like when they did, like, Smallville season whatever, because, Bo, you were a Smallville fan, and then they ended up doing...
Yeah, but as soon as they killed off Lex, or
Lex and Lana left the show.
it was just like...
They did the same thing with Buffy, too. They tried to do, like, an extra season or two after, like, via the comics. And I find that's when people generally lose interest.
Just beating a dead horse with, like, that, I
Well,
think.
it might be a test audience thing, though, too, because 90s...
I like the idea.
90s comics are, like, having a comeback, right? Everyone, that's, like, back to the last time comics were super popular in the 90s. So maybe they're trying to appeal to people like us, you know what I mean, who like those things in the 90s. They're like, we're going to have a test market. We'll see how much the comic sells. If the comic sells, maybe you never know. The animated series could come back.
I hope that's what comes out of it. Then maybe
Reboot did it.
Honestly, I want to see
Force did
them do like the exact same thing, like an animated series, but for the all-new X-Men series that just came out with Marvel now. I personally love that.
It'd be a good jumping on point for new fans, too. You can see it happen from the beginning. No,
Right after AVX,
there's
war
an
happened.
all new
and-
X-Men.
Oh.
Where the Beast goes back in time and brings back the original team of Cyclops
Yeah.
and Iceman and whatnot.
Oh, I haven't
I
read
think
that
I
far.
got to issue 15 and then moved away there,
I'm
so
on
I haven't
18.
got them back.
118.
But every week I had to have it. It was just
Brian
fantastic.
Michael Bendis, he does fantastic work. He's a good writer. He writes, I think he's writing like the Avengers right now. He helped write the Axis storylines. Like he writes, what else does he write? Does he write the Uncanny X-Men as well? He writes another X-Men title. I can't remember what the other one is. But he's a fantastic writer, and I think that's probably like where a lot of that came from. I also think that like of the two teams, like Wolverine's team and Cyclops' team, even though Cyclops' team is portrayed as more of like the bad guys in the all-new X-Men / Uncanny X-Men, I like it has like that good character contrast with like the future kids and the old kids. Like Cyclops gets to see himself as like a villain, and it's really like it's a good idea.
There's something about it that just feels so fitting as you're reading it.
It's almost like
The way the characters have developed and to bring back their old personalities into
and have that contrast.
it's just so goddamn fantastic.
It almost reminds me of going to see a house that you used to live in. And you just, you know what I mean? Like it has like a comforting feeling to it, seeing them. And I think that's what it is, because it sounds like a stupid idea. In premise last year, or like a year and a half ago when they started it, where they're like, we're going to go back in time and bring back the original. I was like, this is fucking stupid. Like, you guys are running out of ideas. This actually ended up working out. I actually like the All New X-Men as well.
I think it might be my favorite comic series that I've read. I'm throwing it up there.
Oh no, that's definitely untrue. Well, that you've read maybe, but not that I've read.
I think what
Fair
people
enough.
don't realize is, like, for all those people who love comic movies and don't read comics, comics are important because without those, you wouldn't have the story arc to make a movie.
Yeah, that's right. You wouldn't have the movie fucking.
You wouldn't have Robert Downey Jr. blasting people with his fucking, like, hands. You know, like, you wouldn't have all of that.
I think you need to. I think that particular example is reversed. I think you wouldn't have Iron Man blasting shit if it weren't for Robert Downey Jr.
Fair enough.
Because before those movies with Robert Downey Jr., nobody gave a fuck about Iron Man.
And I think what I mean is those movies wouldn't even exist, like, not even the first one, so
Yeah.
you wouldn't even have got Iron Man 1 regardless of who's in it.
Yeah. My biggest pet peeve is when comics get influenced by movies. It should be the other way around.
No, that's...
I don't like when the movies do something and then because of the movie, the comics change for the next 6 months. You know, it's focused on, let's say, the Avengers cast that was in the movie and not... They forget about all the rest of the cast members that were in the storylines beforehand. They're like, well, fuck it, we're only going to do Hawkeye, Black Widow, Hulk, and Thor, and blah, blah, blah. Now.
I think that the relation between comic and movie should be... A comic is used as a storyboard for whatever movie you're making.
Yeah. I think it should
not the other way around.
I think it should be a one-way street, yeah. Like, comics come first.
Yeah.
The storyline. Especially, too, because, like, you can say whatever you want, like, movies make more money than comics, comics is a dying industry, what the fuck ever. But comics have been around since, like, the 1930s, and Marvel and Batman, specifically.
Yeah.
And so, to get rid of your gravy train that's kept your company, or made your company as big as it has for the last 80 years, to just kind of, like, put that to the side and focus on movies seems like kind of unfucking grateful to me.
It's almost like a spit.
Yeah, it's your long-term fans.
You're spitting in the face of your long-term fans and the person who started that company.
But if you think about it with Marvel, they're not even spitting in the face of their fans that they've had for all this time because it's now Disney, is it not? And I mean, they're the ones that are trying... They bought that franchise for the movies because of the growth.
Speaking of spitting in the face, going back now that we're on Marvel and Star Wars, we're the same topic here. Marvel also announced that anything that didn't take place in the first 6 episodes of Star Wars, or the Clone series, animated series, or anything they're doing from now on, is cut from a continuity in the universe. Nothing exists. So those thousands of dollars on books and comics and expanded universe, game, none of it counts towards the storyline anymore. Which is like a slap in the face to any Star Wars fan who had like a shelf full of novels or crazy stuff. They're like, that shit's not real. That's filler now.
Oh my god.
See why I'm petrified of this?
Like,
oh man.
Do you see? I don't want to have the original cast come back into this freaking trilogy only to be tarnished. No. I'm boycotting it.
well, you can't boycott. I haven't done the Star Wars. I haven't been excited about Star Wars in a while, but the Rogue Squadron movie is actually exciting me. Same as the Rogue Squadron game. Please make a Rogue Squadron game to go with it, because those games. Remember N64 Rogue Squadron? That was a good fucking game.
I can't believe that's like a big statement. Like, the people who like really love Star Wars, which is a fucking cult of people, own everything that comes along with loving Star Wars. Like,
and then you tell them
like
it's worthless.
Books, and it's just you're just telling them like, oh, this kind of didn't happen. Like, you're just writing that off.
Especially since
fucking 40 years of shit.
Especially since some of the most beloved Star Wars storylines are expanded universe, like Thrawn and the Boba Fett chronicles and shit like that.
Oh my
like,
god.
What was that other game for N64 where you played as Han Solo in it?
You didn't play as Han Solo, you played as Dash Rendar. Shadows of the Empire.
That was it.
That was a good fucking game.
That was I put so
same
many
with the Star
hours
Wars.
into
Same
that.
with the Star Wars games for Super Nintendo. I like those games too. Star Wars used to have really good games.
Pod Racer 2 is fantastic.
They
It's
don't-
a hard game.
They don't
I love
anymore.
that.
Like Star Wars Galaxies was good too. Like they don't have good games anymore. They're
Phantom Menace was pretty fun too on PC.
awful. Jedi Power Battles.
Is there any news on Battlefront? What's going on? No?
I assume maybe at E3.
I like that they're keeping this like in wraps. I'm not expecting much.
I imagine they don't want to reveal too much about the game before the movie comes out because they're coming out around the same time, And I'm sure coming around the same time, if it's a Battlefront game, there's a lot of movie properties that'll be in there, like ships and characters from the movie. So if they were to show you a lot in the trailers, it's kind of giving away a lot about the movie, so you kind of have to be hush-hush.
Yeah. Or maybe they're just releasing them both around similar times, so that way it's like a double whammy with sales and shit. Like, you can sell the game because people just went out and watched the movie and are fucking in the mood for Star Wars.
That's true. That's true. Last thing on the list, Hotline Miami is the indie game of the week. It is on PlayStation Network right now. It's on sale. As part of their indie game sale, we're doing coverage of basically every indie game that they're doing every week until the sale's over. What do we think of Hotline Miami? Just a quick shout out to it.
It is goddamn violent.
It looks hard too, like really hard.
To be a game that looks just like the old GTA 1 and 2, I mean,
Also
I cannot believe how violent that game is.
What does that make? Does that like deter you from playing it?
No.
A little bit.
Really?
Really?
A little bit.
But you play Mortal Kombat and whatnot, and that.
I know. It's
That
just
bother you?
it's something about it. It's
Is it the dogs shooting dogs and stuff?
I
Yeah.
love shooting dogs.
That's
No, I don't know,
I
like-
don't condone that.
If it's a Doberman attacking me, I'll shoot it. I don't care.
the game's fantastic.
They
don't get me
program
wrong,
that
but
dog to attack you. That's not its fault.
it's very challenging. There's multiple ways of playing it too. Like
Yeah,
you can be very strategic or you can be really fast. I mean, sometimes you gotta mix in both of that.
It's addicting gameplay.
It is.
It makes
The
you
soundtrack's
failure.
fantastic.
The soundtrack is fantastic. The gameplay makes you want to like pick it back up. It's like Ollie Ollie. Like
Yeah.
Any of those games that you instantly can replay, like with a press of a button, it's just like replay, like instantly, like get back into it, try it
Yeah.
again, is addicting. You'll find yourself playing that for hours without even realizing,
That's
holy
true.
shit, I've restarted like 2,000 times.
That's true.
That game makes you legitimately mad though too.
Oh yeah.
Like brick your freaking controller mad.
Yeah. It's because the slightest wrong movement ruins your
Yeah.
whole run. You know what I mean? It's like one of those things you have to be pristine.
Like Ollie Ollie.
Like Ollie Ollie. But yeah, so that's it for the news run for this week. Another quick shout out. Make sure to check out Helldivers. We have another video going up for that. Probably in the next couple hours. You'll see that up there. We're going to go play some Helldivers right now. That's our favorite game currently.
Yeah.
Right now.
It's a good
Yeah.
cooperative game.
Yeah.
It's really
we even
good.
watched Starship Troopers after we were playing Hell. Like, it's all relevant. We love Helldivers. So make sure to check that out. And for all your gaming news, make sure to come back every weekend to the Anti-Gravity Room and tell us about what you thought. Leave your comments below. Take care, guys.
Peace.
Bye.